I'm Louise Fletcher and I help artists to find their own creative voice. One of the most important parts of my practice is my studio journal, which is where I work out ideas and make notes and just generally think through everything I'm doing or have fun, experiment and play with materials. I made this video for my Art Tribe community, where it's part of a much bigger class all about how to use a studio journal to develop ideas for paintings. But looking at this video alone, I think it might be quite helpful in sparking some ideas for you. So we joined my process when I had done some digital work in Procreate, creating some ideas for paintings. I had made some notes about the kinds of things I wanted. I had put all that together in my studio journal, and now I was ready to start doing a little bit of experimentation in there, and that's where we pick up. I'm going to collate some of my digital explorations. So this was from the Creative Kickstart class when I came up with a mind map. What I believe is our work always knows what's happening before we do, and that's why we are just the vessel for whatever is coming through, and the sooner we realize that, the better, because we can stop taking ourselves so seriously. By the way, I made these on the iPad in Procreate. I printed them out because you can save them to your photos and then print them out from Procreate. For me, I mean, this feels a little bit like being a little kid, me making my sketchbook, you know, sitting here gluing pictures in. But to me, it's as much a part of my art practice as painting is. I think if we're trying to produce paintings, eventually we run out of steam. We have to reinvigorate ourselves, gain new ideas. And by reinvigorating ourselves in this way, we get then new inspiration, and the book becomes something we can go back to. Sometimes I find I do things in my journal that I'm not yet ready for. They're ahead of me, but that's okay because I've got this to come back to. Now, just this process of sitting here doing this is a form of self-acceptance. It's a form of self-love, isn't it? It's saying, I made these and they're worthy of being kept and referred to. They mean something. Often the things that are in this book will be photographs of work that I've made. For example, that one it's a photograph of an actual painting which I made on paper. I photographed it and stuck it in here. The actual painting is way too big to go in here. So you can either put the original studies if they fit in your book, or you can do the photographs. So I'm going to make some notes. I won't make you watch me do the whole thing, but then I will come back and we'll do the next thing. So I just want to show you how I do some experiments now with the ideas. So I know these scribbles are really important, right? That much we've established. I know that some areas of solid colour are important and that black's important. But I'm going to start with the scribbles. I just want to experiment with a few things I've got. This is a black oil pastel, so this is going to be a really thick scribble. And I've masked off an area just so I can pull it off later. It's not even. And have some kind of organisation in my book. I don't like it to be a complete mess, but that's just me. So I'm just going to... And I'm just trying to be really conscious of not being precious here. Like this is, that's a, what is that? That's a 4H pencil. Somewhere here I've got a nice thick pencil. This is a thicker one. And then I've got an Inktense. So I was doing colour versus black. So I've got this Inktense where I can... this is like a soft water soluble crayon, but it will draw, so it will scribble or it will do areas of colour, and it's water soluble, so if I add water to that, and because the oil pastel's not water soluble, if that was charcoal it'd all be blending in. That's a lovely green, isn't it? Then I had where I liked the lost and found marks, remember? So at the moment, all the marks are here, we can see them. So how could I get that effect? I have to cover some up. I'm just mixing up some cream paint. I think doing work in a book like this is really good because it stops you from getting too precious. Like, I can't sell this to anyone. I can't care what it looks like because it's in my book. Nobody can have this. So I don't have to worry about whether it looks good or not. I'm going to take the tape off. So this is the kind of work I will do directly in books. The problem, as I might have mentioned, is if you work directly in the book, you do have the issue of what happens now. You've got to wait for it to dry. I'm going for my lunch, so I'm doing this. I'll let it dry well. I can't stick anything else in or write anything else until it's dried. And in some of my sketchbooks, that's fine because I work in several at once, but in my studio journal, it's a bit more challenging. I think another experiment, so I'll experiment with scribbles like this. And then another experiment I'll do is with colours. What colours look really good with black? If I want to have paintings where generally, like here, there's one shade and black, which colours am I going to mix up to get that? And so when I'm working in my journal, I'm asking myself questions. The question that I'm asking myself is about colours with black. And I thought one way I could make swatches. I could make black swatches and then put colours against, and then put coloured swatches against them, and I might do that. But I could also make swatches in my book so I have them if I find a colour combo I really like. Now, one of the things I noticed in one of my experiments, my digital experiments, was that I liked cobalt blue against black, was this one. Now, I want it slightly lighter than that because I don't want a really dark painting. So let's just start just lightening it very slightly. So there's the blue and the black. Not sure what I make of that yet. Let's see what greens this blue and... Ooh, this is going to be a harsh green that I don't like. I can already tell. But sometimes it helps me to put some white in it. Yes, I like it much better now. So this exercise has been good in more ways than me just finding my favourite combinations, which at the moment is that one, possibly that one, and maybe that one. But it's more than that. It's been helping me think through what these colours mean to me. So as I said, more muted, more quiet here because of the desaturation, more loud here, even louder here. And it's the amount of contrast between the black and the colour. So it's both the lightness of the colour, the warmth of the colour, the saturation of the colour. I'll do more of this, I think, to work out what I think. And when these dry, I'll have some fun just putting some little scribbles into the colour. Nice. So these are dry now, and I've noted down what colours were involved. So let's just do some scribbling just to get, some of the feel of how this might be. Because it's fine doing these colour swatches, but does it feel, what would it feel like when the black goes over the colour is the other question that I've got. It's this combination of different types of scribbles that I really like. See, the pencil doesn't show up very well on darker colours. So on darker colours we really need something. And I'm going to cover some of this up again because I like my lost and found lines, as you know. I can cover back up. Anyway, enough playing, Louise. So now I can pick which one of these I like, and let's have a go at doing some little studies. You don't have to do everything in a book like this. Principles of this that I want you to get, rather than the format that I'm doing it in. This journal is such an important part of my art practice. I can't tell you the role it's played in just helping me to think things through. If I don't do this kind of work in my journal, I tend to find I can get a bit lost with the paintings because I don't have anything to come back to as what's behind what I'm doing. So my paintings, because I work abstractly and I don't have a reference, can kind of just go, they don't know what they want to be or why they want to exist. This kind of thought process, even if I never refer back to the images in the book, just going through the thought process is really helpful. There's a lot more to the class than what's here. If you want to see the whole class, you can actually do that for free because we offer a free 30-day trial to Art Tribe. And you can cancel your account. You don't have to ask us. You can just cancel it within that period and not pay a penny. I don't think you'll want to because it's fabulous in there and there's all sorts of other stuff. But if you want to see the rest of this class and learn how to use a studio journal to develop ideas, you are very welcome. And the link is in the description below this video on YouTube, in the post on Facebook, or in the link in my bio on Instagram. Come and join us. We're a fabulous community. We'd love to meet you. And if you want, you can just stay for a short time and watch this class. See you later. Bye-bye.